So very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, friends. Welcome to the webinar, Insights on Lean Construction Education Program. This webinar will introduce you to the global best practices in lean construction. And this Lean Construction Education Program by AGC of America will prepare you to earn globally recognized credential certification CM Lean and become a lean champion. To give a introduction and background of Constask Management Solutions, we established in 2015 to facilitate organizations and projects to improve performance, productivity, and profitability together by rethinking construction, revamping project management, and redefining the project delivery strategy. So we conduct training programs and project-specific consulting engagement as part of our business. We help organizations to implement lean practices and train them on lean concepts. A small introduction about myself. I'm a civil engineer with a 20 years of experience in construction industry. I hold a CM Lean credential, authorized to instruct LCEP courses as well by the AGC of America. So far, I conducted 4 LCEP courses, 100 plus other lean training programs, and 25 plus project-specific engagements in India and Middle East. I'm a member of a Lean Construction Institute, Qatar, and I was leading the Institute for Lean Construction Excellence, ILC, Bangalore hub for around 3 years from 2015. So that's a short brief about myself. I'll be talking about why lean construction is necessary in the Indian construction industry. The construction industry is 100 plus years or maybe 1,000 years old. We delivered iconic projects, and every time we have any construction project, we complete many of them completing within the time. And yes, we may still have some challenges in the project delivery, but still, we are capable to deliver projects. So why do we need a construction require a lean into that aspect? So in my understanding and the way which we observe the construction industry, one of the major challenge what I'm seeing in the construction industry today, when we start the project, everyone want to complete the project within the time, within the cost and quality. We have a schedule, we have a budget, and we have a quality plan and a promises to the customer how the best or a quality project we are going to deliver it. But as the project goes, our focus will be turned into the cost. So we take a lot of time to finalize the materials and the contractors. And the project starts by the time, a lot of time we wasted. So our focus will be on how to complete the project, how to bring more laborers, how to get the work done in a kind of a speed. Then we end up getting to a kind of a quality challenge. So we keep on seeing that we will be getting a lot of the challenges as we go, and we end up saying that okay, the time, cost, and quality cannot go together. So when the situation where we are living a construction project, the people believe that the time, cost, and quality cannot be delivered together. They all come as strangers, and they're trying to do the project together. Many of them end up like an enemy because of the factors of the time, cost, and quality we are trying to achieve it together. Let me take a quick discussion on what are the major challenges. So I want to highlight 4 major challenges which a construction industry facing today, which ultimately leading. It's all are connected. It's not that one is starting, the other is coming. So it's all interconnected. But I want to start your attention from the first point, which I've mentioned, the low resource efficiency. That means the resources are waiting for the work. You go to any construction project, the first and most, the complaint from the construction project is we don't have a labor. The shortage of the manpower. You give the manpower, we will do everything which is required to do the project. But in reality, you talk to the people, you understand the subcontractors and the labor, those who have been supplied by the people, those who are part of the supply chain system. Most of the time we can see that is the people are scared to supply the labor. The reason being, there are a lot of time the laborers are available, the work front is not available, the approval is not there, there is a clarity is not there, the clearance is not given. So the low resource efficiency is one of the major concern for many contracting and the subcontracting firms. This is one major reason we are seeing as in a construction project, which creating a lot of challenges or a turbulence in the system. Along with that, when we move forward and looking at construction in a different perspective, you will see that a lot of works are waiting for the resources. So in one angle, the resources are waiting for the work, You are asking for a people to deploy 10 people. The 10 people are coming to the site, but they're complaining about the lack of work front because some drawing clarity, the drawing information. Whereas on the other side, the work is ready where the workers are not available. So what will happen? The workflow is a kind of a broken. You have the block work ready, but you cannot proceed with the contuting or a plastering, or you got an excavation done, but you cannot put the pipes and you cannot backfill the work and move forward. This gives a kind of a situation where a lot of unevenness or variation or unscheduled arrival of a work front information and material. There are times which we don't have any drawing, but when the drawing comes, everything comes together. Now we don't have a work front is available or a labor is available. So the unevenness in the system, which the kind of a unpredictable, and you see that the unscheduled works and information coming, all of a sudden you will see that the underutilization of the resources are sitting idle, but after some time you see that there is an overburdening on the system where you have to bring the people from outside, you have to develop the resources, we have to ask them to work overtime and get the work done. So this is a scenario for the people, the system, and even for an equipment. You have a process where the procurement people are working on centralized purchase of a material, or even within the project side. There are times they may not have a sufficient input from the execution people what need to be purchased. When the clarity is coming, when everyone wants the information giving that together, they want all the material to be coming at the same time. So the processing will take a lot of time. So the low resource efficiency, the broken workflow, the unevenness, and the overburdening, which all coming together or interconnected, which create the construction industry feel like, okay, now we cannot depend on everyone or other people to do our job. So let me think about a kind of an optimization in my own work. The people started thinking about, never worried about the project outcome. I'm only worried about as a designer, as a procurement guy, as an execution, as a civil, as an MEP, my work, my productivity. This creating a further trouble. So when someone is focused only on their work, for example, the procurement department or a supply chain, they are worried only about the budget and their KPI, KRA. They are taking 2 weeks extra to finalize a vendor. That 2 weeks is gone from the execution. Now the project is going to get struggled, and there are a lot of work might have proceeded without that particular contractor or a subcontractor or a material. Now the material comes and the contractor comes. By the time there may be a possibility that a lot of delay or there are much more reworks are required. So is the case for a design. So is the case of all the specific departments or a different contractors working in the industry. This come to a situation where the people don't believe in planning. They all started saying that, okay, let me come in the morning and look at what work front is given to me, what material is available by arranged by the store people, which are the crew which is reported today. Now let us have all these people together and let me plan for the work. So you end up getting into a kind of a firefighting every day. Because when you plan on the day morning and try to execute it, you left with nothing. You have to run around, you have to shout at everyone and get the work done. So we become more of a reactive in the nature. This situation finally or very commonly taking the industrial people and the organization to think about, okay, now let us worried about only the time, cost, and quality. Okay, time we are not able to achieve. Let us find and appoint a person who take care of a schedule. Let me appoint a person to take care of a quality. Let me appoint a person to take care of a cost matter. Now what will happen? So the client, the customer values are missing, where everyone is thinking about it transactionally, how to achieve their KPIs and KRIs. So they will be doing a man-to-man work. A person who is responsible for a quality, he will be coming to the site. He will be stopping the work because the quality is not good. And indirectly, it is getting affected by the time, where the project manager will come and object saying that now the project is, my timeline is being questioned. I have to deliver the project within the milestone. So there is a kind of a friction coming. Like I mentioned earlier, the people who comes as a stranger in the project, they go back as an enemies most of the time because of the transactional nature which people are trying to achieve. So this become a major challenge to complete the time, cost, and quality together, and the struggle which we are talking. This lead to a situation where you can see that all the waste, the variation, and the overburden, which are creating one another and creating more and more complexities in the construction. So the non-value adding which is created in an activity like a reworking and an hour processing and additional material which is coming, all this is creating a turbulence in the system. So the people's promises are not able to deliver on time. So the variations are coming in terms of their promises and work front, which ultimately creating a kind of an overburden. The overburden further creating the waste in the system. So we typically see the construction industry. You look in perspective of a resource efficiency and the flow efficiency. We can say that the industry is a kind of in a situation where, as referred by the efficiency metrics in the book called as This is Lean, we are kind of in a situation where in a wasteland, where our resource efficiency is not good, our flow efficiency is not good. What it means? We have a labor, we have an equipment, we have material, but they are not productive. We have everything, but our works are not progressing. Now, what will happen in such situation? The organization tend to look for an efficient island. They look for a resources efficiency. Like I mentioned earlier, the procurement department, they want to be focused on their KPI, reduce the budget by 1%. The design is looking at their KPI, release all the drawing, whether it is constructible, non-constructible, whether it is within the budget, above budget, you release the drawing. So they show, everyone showing their performance and excellent. You look at a construction company or a client company or a PMC company, they have an excellent design team. You have an excellent procurement team. You have an excellent execution team. But the achieving the resource efficiency and the flow efficiencies together is a kind of an impossible. Whereas the lean is more focusing about bringing a kind of a focusing on the flow to ensure that the things are happening in a steady and smooth manner first. That means the flow efficiency has been established. People are not focused to do on a non-value adding things. We understand the value and then we are doing it. And as we go, you will see that the people efficiency, the resource efficiency can also be improved in the approach. So to give a very, very high level, I'm not taking much time here to get a very high level of lean construction. The lean construction is focusing on reducing or eliminating the non-value adding activities such as the waiting, the defects or a rework, the excessive transportation which are happening in a construction project today. A lot of over processing and over production and unnecessary motions are happening. We get a material which is more than required the site, and most importantly, the people we hired, we don't utilize them, involving them into the planning. We decide the schedule and we dictate them to follow it. A lot of underutilization of a skill. So everything is finally overburdening the system, and we see that a lot of variation and unevenness. And we have to do a lot of follow-ups, regular follow-ups. A construction manager or a project manager in today's industry, in a construction, especially in Indian scenario, most of his time, 40 to 50% of his time, he's spending on a follow-ups and excess communication. And ultimately, they end up doing a kind of a firefighting. Whereas the lean is more focusing on delivering maximum possible amount of value, the value which the client is bothered, the customer needs, wants, and desire, the fitness for the use. The focus is on meeting the financial and the market needs, transforming the input to the output. You might have come across a lot of time we have everything, but we are not able to achieve the milestone kind of in a situation. So we are talking about it. We are ensuring that we are going to have a smooth flow of the work, and we are going to have a kind of a continuous improvement in the work. I just want to quickly take you to the point. So you might have seen by this time, if you're trying to achieve the on-time project in a lower cost with a better quality, of course, that's a target, and the something which everyone wants. You focus on a time, cost, quality, become a more transactional, you get stuck. Whereas the way Ed was mentioning, you more focus about the flow, you focus about the value for the next in line customer, what your next trade wants, and ensure that all your inputs are getting converted into the the outcome where the transform is focused. You indirectly you are bringing the time, cost, and quality. You listen to the Ed, right? He's ensuring the flow of an activity, and you end up getting 2.5 months early in a project. But remember, all these things are happening only because, or the main reason why it is happening is because of the collaboration. So the lean very much focused about collaboration and bringing people, ensuring that the people are understand the value for the end customer and value between each people, each trade. They all are working together to ensure that the smooth flow of an activities are happening, and ultimately as a team they are converting, they're transforming the input to the output to the outcome. And it's all happening through the lean project delivery system, which start beginning interacting from the project definition onwards. Like, the purpose, the constraints are well discussed in the early stages of a project. That is being given to the dean, converted as a design concepts. And then from there, the execution aspects are discussed so that your product design is taken care of, your cost, your constraints, your constructability, and everything. So that the lean supply will be more focusing on the detailing and arranging the logistics and getting the supply chain correct, then the people in the execution are focusing about the installation and commissioning, and ultimately the end customer is getting benefit out of it. So the lean project delivery system, which cover the entire the production aspect, that means the day-to-day activities, the larger aspect of the lean work structuring has been covered, implementing the lean the tools and techniques. Like Ed mentioned in between, one word which is called as the lean principles or the lean thinking, which we are referring. All the lean tools are fundamentally, like someone was asked, in manufacturing there are a lot of tools and techniques are there. Why only last planner system in construction? It's not like that. There are a lot of tools and techniques are available. The entire lean thinking, which is evolved in the Toyota product and system, gone to the manufacturing, are ultimately practicing in lean construction as well. We always focus on understanding what the end customer required. We see that how the stages, you would have seen the pool planning, what Ed was mentioning, to ensuring that the stream has been identified, to eliminating some unwanted steps or some bottlenecks in between. And the focus here is ensuring a smooth flow by ensuring the next in line person understand, next in line person's requirement is understood by you and the people, those who are working, ensuring. See, if not, what will happen? You are not releasing a drawing, you are not releasing a work front, the next person cannot do the work. Suppose you are releasing all the work front together, he cannot do it because he cannot arrange that much of resources or a labor or material at that point of time. So the entire work will be getting flooded. So we have to ensure a smooth flow, which is very important. And also to the final point, which is a quest for a perfection. The lean is mainly focusing on the continuous improvement, ensuring that the people are looking at the activities which are happening, the process which are happening, using the tools like what Warren was mentioning, like the A3, the PDCA, and there are several tools which help you to analyze what is happening, including the PPC and the reason for non-completion. So which will help us to improve our planning cycle every now and then. So as a Constask management solution and anyone practicing lean, we literally focusing on three aspects, aligning to the service what we are offering. We are ensuring that the people understand the lean concept through a learning. A concepts, tools, and technique need to be clearly understood by the people. Then they have to get into the project to practice it by piloting, the validating, and the institutionalizing the entire lean thinking, lean tools, and including the last final system to be implemented. So they gain the skill on the project. And ultimately, if you want to sustain it in the organization, you really have to motivate, recognize, and create kind of a credential among your people, whether it's or go for a credential certification like a CN Lean. So this discussion is mainly focusing on a CN Lean credential. So I want to take a deeper dive of what Warren mentioned. There are 7 units in the Lean Construction Education Program. The Unit 1 and Unit 2, which help us to learn to identify and differentiate the variation and fluctuation, which is preventing the workflow efficiency and resource efficiency. So by understanding that, we again will be discussing on the mitigation strategies, how to handle the variation and fluctuation in front of in work front, material and resources. And to the second unit, like you remember, the Ed was mentioning about ensuring the batches, the right batches. Today we more into the into kind of the continuous flow, which is not able to do because we more creating a lot of work in progresses. So whereas we need to create a kind of a pull system, differentiating from the push system is the focus on the unit number 2. Coming to the unit number 3 and 4, which is talking about the last final system and most widely used the lean construction practice, which help project to have a collaborative and commitment-based planning system. So the LPS is actually producing a predictable workflow with a rapid learning. And this got a 2 parts. The first one is the lean work structuring, and the second part is the production planning aspect. So the entire last mile system concepts are covered in 2 units, the unit 3 and 4. Whereas the unit 5 is focusing on a supply chain. Everyone knows that the supply chain is an important aspect in successful delivery of construction project. So when today, again, an answer to someone asked about any other lean tools are using or lean is only the last mile system, not absolutely. Your entire supply chain and need to be really complement your execution activities. You cannot implement lean only in your execution. Your supply chain, your design all need to be happen. So this one full day course will take the lean concepts, the practical tools to eliminate the waste in supply chain and ensuring how a continuous flow in a construction can happening while maintaining the site operational pool in the system. And last two units, which the first one is talking, the unit 6 is talking about the lean in design. You know that well begun is half done. So majority of the problems we are facing today can be eliminated if things are taken care during the design period. So the best phase to identify and define values is the design phase, where the lean work structuring will help you to think in a, what the product need to be there, how it can be constructed or executed or assembled, and how the procurement can be done, the supply chain can be arranged. So if these three thought processes are coming together in the early stages of a project, the topics like a target value design and much more is there in the unit number 6. And coming to the unit 7, the lean practitioners are different just because they are acting in a lean manner. They're solving the problems in a lean manner. The lean tools are really helping, like the way Ed mentioned. They are looking ahead and they are making it ready. Whatever the daily challenges, they do the PPC, the reasons are getting they analyzed, and then get into the root causes, use the tools, use the PDCA, and ultimately they are making the processes better and easier to get it implemented in your project. So once the lean is getting implemented in your project, there are there are there are a lot of advantages you can there are a lot of advantages you can get into the project. And there's a McGraw Hill construction, there's a report which I'm just showing there. There are a lot of advantages you could get into the project. And like I mentioned, the lean is not focusing on a time, cost, and quality, whereas the result will be coming in terms of your productivity improvement, your time improvement, your cost improvement, your safety improvement, and ultimately your quality improvement as well. So when we focus on less waste and more value, you're ensuring that the works are not waiting for workers and the workers are not waiting for the work. You're ensuring that your resource efficiency and the flow efficiencies has been to the peak, and that ultimately getting converted into a benefit for the projects and the organization. I can keep talking about the benefits and advantages of a lean. So is the case for a Ed and everyone those who practice lean. But this will be looking like a blank sheet for you, like what you're seeing now. The time you started learning, your learning will make you to realize, yeah, there's a lean is beneficial. There's a kind of a faded, but you still started seeing that it is beneficial. The time you learn as a team and make discussing with your team members, and the team is also agreeing that, yeah, this is doable, we can do in a different way, but more beneficial, more result oriented. You started seeing that the lean is much more clearer for you. The lean benefits are much more clearer for you. But still it is a theoretical. Get into a stage where you start practicing in your project. That's when we really can see that the lean benefit will come to your project and to your organization. Thank you, participants, for signing up and joining us today. So enjoy, learn lean, and try to implement in your lean in your project, so that your project will be benefited and your organization will be benefited, and ultimately you are going to benefit out of it. Thank you very much. Have a great day ahead, or good night. Bye bye.